Hi friends, welcome to Srisai IT Hub. In this video of Core Java Programming, we are going to discuss the following topic: Private Access Modifier in Java program, and this concept is related to Access Modifiers in Java. So first of all, let us start with Access Modifiers in Java. So what are Access Modifiers? Okay, so Access Modifiers provides scope of access to class members. Okay, so what are class members? Data members and methods. So access modifiers provide scope of access to class members. So what is this scope? Okay, so scope means where we can access class members. Okay, so where we can access class members, we have 5 levels of access. Okay, right? So we have 5 levels of access to class members. First one, same class. Okay, we'll take it as A, same class access. Okay, so inside the same class, how to access the access modifiers, data members and methods. Second one, subclass access. Third one, other class access. Okay, and these three belongs to same package or same folder. Okay, so above 3 access levels are same folder or directory, or technically it is called as package access. So in the same folder, same class, subclass, other class access. Okay, right. So we also have one more, D, subclass in other folder or directory or package, and one more, other class in other folder, directory or package. So these are the 5 levels of access to class members: same class access, subclass access, other class access, and subclass access in other folders or directory or package, and then other class access in other folder or directory or package. So here these two are related to packages concept, package level access. Okay, so here DE. Okay, so D and E are package level of access, right? So coming to access modifiers. Okay, so we have 4 types of access modifiers. First one, private access modifier. Second one, default access modifier. Third one, protected access modifier. And fourth one, public access modifier. Right. So in this video, we'll try to understand private access modifier, the first one. Okay, right, so private access modifier. Right, so before starting with private access modifiers, okay, right, so one important point here. So these modifiers, access modifiers, are used with class name or data members or methods. Okay, so they are mainly used with class name or data members or methods. Okay, so the example goes like this. We can use something like private int x data member. We can use something like public void show method, and then we can also use it for a class, something like public class A. Okay, so generally for classes we use public access modifier. Okay, right, so now coming to the private access modifier. Okay, so private access modifier is used only within the class. Okay, so private access modifier is accessible, used means accessible only within the class. Okay, right, so for example, let us take that same class access. Okay, second one subclass access, third one other class access. Okay, right, and then coming to fourth one subclass in other package, and fifth one other class in other package. Okay, so these are the 5 levels of access. Okay, so coming to the private, private is accessible only within the same class. Okay, so it is a same class access. Okay, right, and remaining all, it is not accessible, not accessible in other classes, and it is also not accessible in subclass. So this is D is subclass of other package, and it is also not accessible in other classes of other package. It is only accessible within the same class. Okay, so same class, data members or methods. So let us try to implement this in the form of a small program. So private access modifier, example1 dot java. So program to demo private access modifier. Right, so coming to this, first we'll take the comment, take a new page, first write the comment. So let us take class A. Now inside this class A, I'll take private int something like x. Okay, right, so if you want we can also take one private method also, private void m1 method. Okay, right, so let us take the main class, class access private access modifier, example 1. Now inside this we'll take the main method, public static void main string of args. So take it as private access modifier example1.java. Save it in our working directory. Right, save it. So here we'll take one message, system.out.println. Okay, right, so we'll display x value here plus x. Okay, and we'll also display one more message here, system.out.println private m1 method of class A. Okay, right, so now let us try to compile this. Okay, so here x is private, it is accessible within the class. So within the same class, so m1 method belongs to same class. Okay, m1 method is in same class. So since it is in same class, x is accessible within m1 method. Okay, so let us compile this and check no error. Open the command prompt, go to your working directory, javac private access modifier example1.java. Compile it and run it. So no error. So next, let us try to create an object of, okay, a obj new a. So let us try to access obj.m1. So m1 method is private method. So private method is accessible only within the class. It is not accessible outside the class. We should get the error. Okay. So m1 has private access. So it is not accessible outside the class. Right. So it is a error. So similarly, if we take something like obj dot x is equals to something like 10, then also we'll get a error because x is private. X has private access in class A. So this is also not accessible. Then how to access private members outside a class? Okay, right. So we'll take one method here. Let us say the method is void m2 method. Right, so inside this m2 method, okay, what we'll do is we'll take x is equals to, okay, x is equals to something like 10, or we'll take it as 11, and then we'll call m1 method here. So x is private, m1 is private, so both are accessible within the same class. So m2 method is also in same class. M2 method is in same class, so it is accessible. And let us access this m2 method in main method obj.m2. So when you call m2, obj.x is initialized to 11 and it will call m1 method. So in m1 method, it will display this x value. Right. So compile this and run it. So private method m1 of class A and x value is 11. So so outside the class this is not accessible. So let us take one subclass, class B extends A. Right. So here we'll take one more method, void m3. Okay. Right. So inside this m3 method, we'll try to access x value is something like 22, and then we'll also try to call m1 method. We should get the error because they are not accessible in subclass also. Right. So now Let us create an object of subclass B, obj2 new B, and then obj2 dot m3 method. Okay, right. So it is not accessible in the subclass. We should get the error. So two errors. X has private access in class A and M1 method is not found in subclass B. Right. So both are errors. So what we'll do is from M3 method we'll call M2 method. Now M2 method is accessible because it is not private. It is inherited to subclass, and inside the subclass from M3 method we are calling M2 method of the base class. It is okay. Right. So obj2.m3 internally it will call M2 method. So this is accessible. Compile and run. So first time we are calling M2 method using base class object, and second time we are calling M2 method inside M3 method of subclass. So this is how private is accessible only within the class, not outside the class. It is not accessible in subclass, or it is not accessible in other class. Okay, right? And then how to access the private members? Through other methods, non-private methods of same class. Okay, right? So the node point goes like this. Private members of a class are accessed indirectly with non-private methods of same class. So in the same class, okay, we have to take the non-private methods. Okay, so private methods of a class are accessible indirectly with non-private methods of same class. Okay, and this non-private methods are called outside the class and subclass. They can be called in outside the class and subclass. So this is how we have to make use of private data members, through non-private methods, and access that non-private methods in subclass and other classes. And generally other classes are main classes. So this is how we are supposed to work with private access modifiers in Java program. And this concept is related to access modifiers in Java. Thank you for watching this video. Do like and share this video, and also do comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel Sri Sai IT Hub. Have a nice day.